Gauteng-based waste reclaimers, people who you know and see regularly on the streets of our cities and suburbs, and indeed in smaller towns in the country, I would imagine, as well, were tracked. They were tracked over 9 months, and in that time, they collected 700,000 kilograms of plastic recyclables. They covered on foot, often dragging heavy loads, more than 20,000 kilometers, and the value of what they recovered was 1.4 million rand, not to mention all the value, the social value, but also the financial value as well, of diverting that plastic and paper away from municipal landfills. This is the work of an organization called the Urban Surfer. And to talk about it, we're joined now by Sifiso Gumbi, who is involved with recycler relations at the Urban Surfer. Mr. Gumbi, good afternoon and welcome to 702 Drive. The numbers that you've come up with, what does this tell us about the policies we should be adopting for recycling and the role that the reclaimers ought to be playing in that policy?
Well, good afternoon, John. Good afternoon to the listeners. Thank you so much for having me. Well, John, I think what this tells us and the message that it really communicates to the general public is that more really needs to be done in terms of, recognizing and assisting more waste pickers and actually coming together to just help in what they are doing.
Yeah, I mean, what is the current role of waste pickers now in, for example, the policy of the city of Johannesburg? I know there was a time when they were talking about a reclaimer tariff and they were going to set up businesses and companies. Your research seems to suggest that actually what you need to do is enable what the people on the ground are already doing as a matter of survival, but clearly they're doing it very effectively. Am I putting two and two together and possibly getting 9, or is that, in a sense, the conclusion that you would come to?
Well, John, I wouldn't really say the government hasn't done much in terms of helping the waste pickers. There have been relief funds that have been set aside for waste pickers. I remember last year there was a relief package that was set aside for waste pickers. But I think what really is the real issue here is that no one really goes out on the ground to really engage with the waste pickers and really find out what their issues are and what they really need to be assisted with. So we as Urban Surfer, we actually go on the ground and we maintain a steady relationship with these guys. So we know exactly what they need. And at times you just find that they need something as simple as a trolley, or something as simple as, an overall, your PPE, your gloves, your masks, So the real problem here is there isn't much engagement on the ground with the waste pickers.
Yeah. So what next now? I mean, obviously this has given you insights into the other work that you do, designing better trolleys, making sure that they wear reflective clothing, the bag supply, and so on. But where are you going to take this information? What do you hope might improve as a result of the research and work that you've done?
So the picture that we're really trying to paint is really that people need to know the work that these people do and the impact it has on the environment and the impact it has, in terms of addressing a lot of issues that the municipality has with the landfills, that the general communities have, with waste in general. So our solution really is, with the data that I think you may have seen on the article, is that we want to make their impact measurable. We want to provide real data that you can actually see for yourself, so that you can really determine and really get the grasp, of the work that these people are really doing, the impact that they're doing on the ground. I mean, just last week, just this week, these guys did 1,044 kilometers.
Yeah.
Just this week alone. And so we're really working hard at, just getting the data there on the ground available to the public, because I think it's beginning to start, an environment of curiosity. More people are starting to engage. More people are becoming more curious as to what these guys really do for the environment. So what we're really trying to achieve is to actually provide the results,
yes,
just to actually show the data of waste pickers' efforts.
Yeah, well, a fascinating data it is. So this story is up on the Business Insider website, businessinsider.co.za. They've got some other great stuff there as well. And yeah, have a read of it. I'm not clear exactly in my own mind what the policy conclusions are that you need to draw from it. But I would have thought setting up other companies with some sort of relationship to Metro government does not strike me as the solution. Certainly, if it is, it's very much a partial one. 29 minutes past 5.